All right, what's good, y'all? Got my dog, Richblkman.
Yeah.
I'm in here, shot by Buddha. We're gonna go over the new features that we think y'all missed on Madden 25. This is gonna be the most content we're gonna get for football ever. College football back after a decade. Madden. Let's get right into the first topic. More ways to play. They bought mini games back. Rich, what do you think about mini games?
I mean, back in the day, being like one of the OG Madden players, I've been playing Madden pretty much all my life. Having the mini games definitely was fun back in the day, but the older I've gotten, the more Madden that I definitely play. Mini games definitely don't excite me as much as they did before because I'm not really on that mode. But I see why they probably brought it back to Madden because a lot of the new casuals, a lot of the new people wasn't around playing Madden when it was introduced back in the day. So I mean, I'm excited for them. I mean, it was definitely a good mode to have back in the day. So, I could see value in them wanting to bring it back, especially for the new age of Madden players that they got coming out now. So I got no problem with it. It's a good way to learn the game too. So I like mini games. I like it.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm not really crazy about mini games,
Mm,
but as far as the depth of the overall game, where we at, how much money and time people put into it,
right.
from mini games is for the person that wants to read the instruction manual. There's no people are downloading it. There's no hard copy. It's a way for a person that's scared to ask, "Hey, Rich, man, how do I do such and such?" Like you can
Right.
learn the basic parts of the game that whether you want to think so or not, it actually helps you to learn like some of these little small basic tools because you'll find yourself wondering like what button do I hit for this or how do I do that? And it's literally
Right.
in the mini game if you take the time to go check it out.
Right. Like mini games was the first mode that you go into after Christmas. When you get the game for Christmas, like that's normally the first mode that you hop into when you open the game and put it in the system. Like mini games was first because it teaches you how to run, pass, like perfect your little moves and stuff like that. So I mean, I can see why they brought it back, and it's exciting if you're very new to the franchise, Madden football. So I mean, I see why they brought it back. I like it. I've outgrown mini games, but I see why they brought it back though.
Oh, for sure. I
Yeah.
think the main thing that they showed, see, EA is slick. They had little small gems inside of the trailers that they dropped because it was only what 90 seconds,
Right.
but I don't think people took time to look at oh, it's short, but they put these little gems and notice if you look on the screen,
Mm,
pocket presence. One thing I always
mm,
say you can tell the difference between somebody who's really good at Madden and somebody who's basically
mm.
what we call a casual is pocket
Right.
presence. That person that gets nervous and hit the button, they want to roll out every play. They can't step up in the pocket to make certain throws, or if they wonder why all their passes are overthrown or short or errant passes, is because they don't have pocket presence. And it doesn't matter how good you are at Madden, you can always get better at pocket presence.
Right. 100%.
All right, so let's move on to the next one. Is AI blocking logic. Tell me your thoughts on a new AI blocking logic system.
I mean, dominating the trenches for me, the last couple of years, blocking on Madden was always terrible. It always was the worst thing about the game, especially offensively. And it never really I never really got why because the person who's actually in charge of Madden, Clinton Oldenburg, which he was an offensive lineman. So I thought once they brought him on board, that the offensive line would play better. Like, bro, that's your position, but why is it the worst part of the game? So dominate the trenches and blocking logic. Yes, it did get a little bit better. Last Madden and Madden 24, Madden 25. I don't really think it's going to change too much. I may or may not have played the beta and tested out the O line blocking a little bit, but I can say that I think it still needs a little bit of work because when I was playing Madden 24, you would have like a left tackle, Tyron Smith, like going full speed at a freaking safety. And instead of pancaking him, he would just like block him, and then the safety would still block shed Tyron Smith, an all pro left tackle, like who 300 pounds, who outweighs that little safety. He would just block shed him like crazy. So I'm not going to put too much emphasis on the online blocking until I get into the game and actually see that it's improved and I'm able to like dominate and pancake and stuff like that, like we used to be able to do back in old Maddens. But I like that they focusing on it a little bit. But I'm gonna need Clint Oldenburg to do a better job on his position and make sure that that's a very good focal point of the offense and that it dominates because bro, you play O line, but O line is the sorriest part about the game. Like they don't block for nothing. So yeah, it's a little tough, but I'm gonna hold my little thoughts on that one until we see some more gameplay of that.
Man, Rich just got spicy. A lot of bullets being thrown.
Hey,
Now, I'm gonna disagree with Rich. I'm always say that the first thing that any sweat Madden player does when Madden drops is to find the cheesiest, the most OP blitz. Now that separates the good players from the bad players, people that can block a blitz, people that can send a blitz, and people that can beat a blitz. So those are usually your first ebooks or your first metas is whether it's a loop, whether it's a gap blitz like the second half of Madden,
right.
whether it was Overstorm or 3-3, or DB Fire with or 4-6, 4-3-6-1. You want to find a blitz that can beat this AI logic, which started like really with the nano blitz detection systems
Mhm.
and things like that. The one part I will agree with you though, Rich, is when I assign a blocker and somebody's sending 3 and I'm blocking 5 or 6, having a all world left tackle just chop his feet and watch a 230-pound line but edge rusher just run past him
Right.
or a defensive back, it's kind of confusing because you got that edge protector to be able to win that one-on-one block. Now, I'm not crazy about the pancaking that used to be, which
Mhm.
was the feature to try to offset people not having enough people on the line of scrimmage. I don't think there's a good way to find that balance with the way that people play the game of Madden
Mhm.
because people are looking to try to throw off the AI. So hopefully, in this new world of artificial intelligence, Rich, hopefully
Right.
we find a happy medium where the meta continually changes. That's all I ask for out of this new system is if we have a specific type of blitz, not just somebody never blocking their running back and always getting beat on the edge, but
Right.
if you max protecting and blocking a tight end and a running back and somebody's sending 4 at the max and they're just completely just walking in like a gap blitz, I
Mhm.
do think that we do need a new meta of how to blitz and how to block. So I
Well, I
agree with you on
mean,
that part.
like for as far as like the pancaking, I actually think they need to bring back pancaking back because that pretty much was a consequence of the defense either going into pass commit or really just having somebody like one blocking. Like 5 versus 1 should be a pancake. Like you got people who drop D line into coverage, so it's only really one person that's coming in versus 5. Or like I said, if you pass commit and I'm running the ball, that automatically should be a pancake because you're like going back. You're not trying to like engage with me. Like that should be automatic pancake. But that's a story for another day.
Yeah, I mean, that's a fair point. I just think like when you get into most of the time, people got beat on their pancake was when they go in the prevent before half, and somebody comes out and
Right.
goal line and gets pancakes, and everybody falls down. I think they got to find a happy medium. And I think
Mm-hmm.
with the way people play, like we both agree, the best way for that to happen is for the meta to continually change with the blocking AI, because you also don't want somebody sitting in the pocket for 2 hours and being able to escape artists us to death. So it's like
Right.
they got to find a happy medium and continue to flip it.
Right.
All right, so we got Aunt Belden joined us. User multiple defenders. This is one of my hot new pieces from this new Madden that they shown. Rich Ant is the switch stick being able to flip and user multiple defenders. Now, let me hear what y'all think about being able to flip a switch and have a safety check a seam route if you feel like you wasn't able to make a certain adjustment pre-snap.
I mean, I actually like it. Put the control back in the hands of the user. Like if I'm able to switch very quickly to an area of the field that I know you about to throw to, and not have to worry about being sucked in some sort of crazy animation. Like yeah, I love that ability. It all depends on how quick you could be able to do it because in past Maddens they would not allow you to switch over to a defender to make a user pick or to make a tackle. So if we're able to speed that process up to where I can go to that corner route and pick that ball off or at least get like a knockout quicker than what I've been able to do in previous Maddens, like I'm all for it. So I'm excited about this feature. Again, I just want to see that it actually works the way that they advertising it.
Yeah, I mean, I think anytime they bring a new feature in the game, like there's like the fear of I start getting comfortable with switch stick and I build my defense around it and I do it and he run commits, or he just completely dumbs out and guards grass. I think that's the only part about the new feature. And but I am happy that they're adding things like that in because we see the same metas every year: gun tight, gun bunch, trips tight end,
Mm,
the same offenses pretty much dominating. Being able to know that if somebody came out and trips tight end and sent a seam route out of verticals or ran the tight end wheel out of verticals and just spamming it, that you can hit that button and take that center defender off and just send him at that seam route the whole game to at
right.
least give the other person the thought that like, hey, I might have to think for a half a second. I can't just quick snap plays and throw verticals or throw seams in certain situations. And I'm interested to see, this is like kind of deep dive thought, how
Mm,
that would work on the goal line. Like on the
mm,
goal line, you could kind of get into some spicy situations. Like if you wanted to blitz somebody, like an off ball defender, and then send your safety the other way, like that could kind of get spicy.
right.
In
Mm,
the new defenses on Madden 25.
I agree. And you know how
Absolutely.
sometimes when you be playing like and I know this was a tactic that Ambell showed you to where like sometimes you got a user the freaking DB on the outside the person's
Oh yeah.
view. Like
Don't say
imagine
that
like you
live.
can yeah, imagine like if you could just like user in the middle and then switch over to that cornerback and get that pick. Like you ain't gotta like go to the outside. You ain't gotta start on the outside. You can switch. So hopefully this makes it a little bit more quicker and easier for you to get where you want to go and be on a player that you want to be and get in position. That's what
That
I'm
is
hoping.
true. And
Yeah, just imagine, right? We gonna see a lot of people who might be one dimensional or have them players on the outside that they just like to throw it to. So imagine being able to guard one outside that you can lock down, have the ability to still maintain the other side with just the click of a thumbstick to shift your player in the
Mm,
right position to still make a play. Because if now say they like going towards the middle and you want to control the middle and you still got that ability to control the outside in case they want to throw it outside too. Because we know we're gonna see a lot of corner routes. We're gonna see a lot
yeah,
of slants and people just trying to do a quick bailout. We gonna see a lot of that, right? But we can still control the field on defense, which I love.
yeah,
So it's gonna make it 10 times harder for an offensive player who don't know how to play a lick of defense and make them think a lot more and make more mistakes.
yeah. And
yeah,
you can
I
kind of
agree with
like
that.
fool them too because you can kind of like you know how most people like pick on a user. So if they see
Mm-hmm.
you to the outside, they're gonna try to go on the inside. But boom, you can switch real quick right to the inside, and then they don't know what to do. Like,
Exactly. So
You,
that user lurking skill really about to take another step up this
yep,
year.
yep.
yeah, I think it's gonna be the most effective, and it seems like it would be naturally used for the seams. But imagine somebody's flipping bunch to the wide side from the weak side
Mm,
and got the wide side of the field, and you could send that center defender onto the street. You could put a new zone, a purple, out on the corner and leave your outside corner in the flat. You can now guard a curl flat combo with a streak just that quick with being able to flip your thumb. So like a person would really have to start thinking about, do they want to have a backside post? What are they doing with the running back? If they're blocking the running back, we could get into
mm,
a kind of a next level chess match with offense and defense. We're just adding a simple feature like I don't know why they didn't think of this sooner.
right.
Yeah, so we'll get into the next
Because it was a make or break year. They got
oh.
NCAA coming out. They on the. I think this is one of the last few years that they got with the licensing to renew it and make more games, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So make or break.
So now that you said that, to offset being able to flip your thumb and play defense, new playbooks with auto motion. I know auto motion was a thing that was a nightmare for several people. Cold boats running that halfback swing motion. I
Mm,
wonder how much auto motion is going to be in Madden 25 with these new playbooks. I know the Miami playbook they showed in the trailer specifically because they sent a lot of pre-snap motion. What do y'all think about new playbooks and new strategies?
I mean, I like the idea of new playbooks. I'm not like a big fan of this auto motion because EA doesn't have a good track record of being able to patch glitches that happens in the game with the auto motion that causes people your defense to like just spaz out or just not cover things. So I'm not too excited about the auto motion. New plays, I'm not too excited about that either because no matter what new plays that they add, we're still only going to run the same 4 or 5 formations anyway. So, and it's not like they really do anything different to take or at least offer a counter to those type of plays. So we're still going to
Yep.
see a lot of the bunch, a lot of the freaking tight. So more plays, whatever. I think that's just a BS. But they said that they added like 500 new plays last year in Madden 24, but we only saw 5 formations the entire year. So we'll see how this comes out.
Maybe the new defensive mechanics offset the shit that we're gonna have to go through with the offense.
You think so? I mean, I like
Hopefully,
it.
if it works, maybe.
Like I like it only because like the new tackling, new running system, like the meta last year is RPO, right?
Mm,
So if you seen kind of like the new changes, especially with like you said, the college football with the defensive back being able to read the outside breaking route and you being able to use that flip stick to guard the flats differently. If you take RPO out, auto swing motion only lasted, maybe a couple of months where it was actually effective.
mm,
I really think that RPOs will be toned back, and with the new defense, people will have to use new metas. And we did see some new metas this year, but I hope with auto motion that you're not able to abuse the fact that everybody can kind of hot route a little bit
right.
and start putting some real crazy routes out there with auto motion, which you say Rich will throw off a safeties coverage or something like that. But it's gonna be problems with it. But I would rather have a new meta or new things to deal with than see everybody like run into a Jets playbook or the same playbook that we've been seeing. Like I want to see some chaos, kind of so to speak. Being the we do tournaments and we do so much of that.
Mm,
I love seeing when somebody comes up with something new that's just like making everybody lose their mind on defense or want to scrap their playbook to add in something different. So
right.
at least like last year, we as much as we don't think they changed, the real change in the playbooks last year was RPO, and it
Right.
added a different dynamic to how the game is played and defended.
Yeah, and I think the major problem that they have with the playbooks is that the plays that they do add or the different combinations outside the meta is that those plays are not effective. Like I don't think in the last 2 Maddens you could run one toss play and it'd be effective. Toss plays was dead on hike every single time. Like there's certain plays, certain route combinations, certain formations that they claim are new are dead on hike. You hike the ball, it's pretty much dead. But if you go into a bunch formation or a tight formation, it's a 95% success rate every single time, no matter what defense the opponent is in and all that kind of stuff. So new plays are exciting, but the real question is, are they going to work? Are they going to be effective? Are you going to be able to gain a yard?
Yeah, I mean, maybe not a toss play,
Mm,
but I know the speed option was madly
right.
effective
But you telling me
this
that
year.
it's
So I
not
mean,
one toss play that can be effective?
I run a effective toss play, but that's what I'm saying. That's a little bit
Yeah.
of window dressing a little bit. Rich, I might hit my ebook 19.99 on the Cash App. I
Mm.
might be able to show you a toss play that works. I just can't do it in front of everybody.
Toss plays worked until they patched it. I mean, toss plays need to be sped up a little bit. I mean, you can't hike the ball and the defense is already in the backfield. So I'm
For
excited
sure.
for the new plays. I just want to see that some of them actually work.
All right. This is gonna be something different for all of us in NFL and on the game is the new kickoff rules. Now, I am worried. I am concerned because we haven't seen we've seen it in like the those other leagues, but I don't know how this is gonna work in NCAA or NFL. These new kickoff rules. So y'all let me know what y'all think about this.
I think the new kickoff rule is going to probably be really effective, probably in MUT, based on the abilities and based on the speed of the person that's returning the kick. I think the key to running this new formation is probably finding a seam or just finding a juke move that's effective to work. Other than that, it's pretty much like you're going to get tackled every single time. I don't think I ran back. Well, I can't even discuss that, but from the videos that I've seen, I don't think I've seen a run back on this new kickoff return. So, I mean, what are y'all thoughts on it?
I mean, Ant's quarterback is gonna be returning kicks
I
this year,
was
so
just about to say that. That shit pissed me off. if he really returning kicks out here, bro, I'm gonna be pissed.
I
Justin
mean,
Fields,
look, you
baby.
gotta do what you gotta do out there, man. I mean,
Use him on the game, but they better not do that shit in real life.
Right. It says
I mean, I,
master the new formation, so it must be something that you can find in that formation that's going to guarantee you a kickoff touchdown every
I
single
ain't gonna
time.
say a kickoff return, but I did see the reverse in one of the trailers. So I
Mm,
Yeah.
mean, if you talk about being able to add misdirection or or it may actually matter that you choose and kick to the right side of the field. Like if you remember the first MCS event, I
mm,
won like 2 games off of kick returns early on because like in Mutt, if you have bad backups, they'll be on the kick return teams. So imagine you had like a couple of gold cards out there with low speed and low overalls that was getting pancake on this new kickoff, which is like 1-to-1 blocking. You may
right.
only need to beat one person. So this could change the way people update their rosters. This could be to change the way that people kick because this will probably take away the scum kick, which has been probably the most effective way to kick the ball off in the last like 2 to 3 Maddens is just scum kicking, which is a
Right.
shallow sky kick, which may be something that can hurt you this year. You could
Yep.
you could kick a sky kick and give somebody too much time with that blocking to make one person miss and be gone. And I don't know if y'all noticed, I can't say that. I can't confirm or deny, but I will say last year they changed the AP on offense and defense. This year, I wonder how much AP they'll use on special teams. This might be the first Madden where you might need to save some AP for your special teams because we're gonna use stuff on the kicker. You're gonna use stuff on offense, but you may pass up on that gift wrap to put some on a kick returner that could change that could flip the field pretty much every offensive possession. But we ain't gonna
Right.
waste too much time with special teams. Let's get into another feature that I would like to see. Um, been wanting to see this, which is disguise your defense with improvements in defensive shells. So let me see what y'all think about being able to disguise your defenses a little bit different.
I mean, I like the idea of the Skyger defense a little bit. I mean, the most veteran or OG Madden players are already doing this in past Maddens, just coming out in like a freaking base and just shedding or changing the different coverages to whatever they want into a cover three. So for players like probably like us, it ain't gonna really be that much of a difference because we was already doing that anyway, just coming out in the freaking base. But I mean, I like it. I like the idea. Once again, it's just another feature that they are claiming that is new, but it's really not quite new, especially to the OG players.
And
I mean, I don't think it's gonna be like, even though they saying it's a new feature and stuff, it really ain't gonna be that much of a difference from what we've been doing, to be honest. So
you think
I
so?
can see the same thing, to be honest.
I
Right.
think it could be different. Using like those safety blitz audible shells to change your shell. Like if you could put that in like pre-snap adjustments with people quick snapping. One thing that I think always was a hard thing is early on last year, it took a slight second for you to be able to adjust your defense. The offense could adjust faster in quick snap. Um, if you can disguise your defense as fast as the offense can move,
Hmm.
where if you were in a cover three and you could hit it coming out of the huddle, that way it would come out and not move and kind of show you. I mean, obviously we all kind of know what a cover three looks like on Madden, but what if you able to set it where you come out in a four shell look every single possession and then they run to the ball at the snap and you have that thumbstick to send that free safety wherever you want to go. You could do a lot more with it if they allow you to do more pre-snap on defense. Um Please don't let it be some ability like conductor on defense that allows you to do that. Like,
Yeah.
hopefully that's something that comes stock on the game. Cause this past year, like sometimes you would be trying to base a line, especially if somebody came out in like gun monster or something like that, and it would take them forever to get lined up. So maybe it's not something new, so to speak, agreeing with y'all. Maybe it's just like correcting what was wrong about being able to base a line or to get your defense set up before the ball is snapped.
Well, also like the normal traditional baseline was always two safeties over the top, but it seemed like maybe with this feature here, you could probably come out in the baseline of a cover three and show that all game long, but really being something totally different. Like I think that could probably be a game changer because when people see cover three, they'd be like, "Oh, I got beaters" or whatever for that.
Right.
So showing a shell of a cover three could be pretty good because like I say, the baseline now, which is always two safeties over the top, and even when you went back to that, you was able to identify that fairly easy. So it could be a game changer, but we'll see.
Mm. All right, let's see. Okay, this is something that I've already made reels about. EA. Maybe you heard me. Maybe you watched out by Buddha and you seen me beg for leaderboards and seasons on regs as well as Mutt that had locked playbooks on all Madden that track your win loss record because ever since Madden 21, I stopped playing for ranking or even to care what I did in head to head because we didn't have a proper system. Everybody had 100 game winning streaks out the gate last year. Not saying everybody, but I'm not an old head like me is not supposed to play weekend league for a month and easily get 20 wins. This is something that keeps people grinding the game and actually playing it, not just doing challenges and things to unlock certain things or to get certain stuff on a pass. This is what makes a Madden player grind the game. I'm talking about pre-COVID. You need to be high on the leaderboard to make an event Madden where it counts. Because now I'm gonna ask y'all this question: if you see somebody say, "Hey, I'm the number 331st ranked reg player in the world," we all laugh because it's like it has no bearing. It's no skill based matchmaking. You're not in any kind like there's no order and structure to this. So let me see what y'all think are gonna actually be in this new ranking system.
For me, I think this is probably one of the most excited features. If I was ever excited about a Madden 25 feature, it would definitely be this because the ranking leaderboards has been long overdue for a revamp for quite a long time. Like just sitting there playing the game over and over, and you having the most wins, or you just playing the game for the whole cycle doesn't mean that you're a top 100 player because there's a lot of people that had top 100 ranks and their record just was just terrible. They was barely 500. But looking at the structure that they have here, I do need to see more information about what goes into you ranking up or moving up because we all are Apex players, so we know exactly how this model looks and works. So, but I'm excited for it. I want to see more about it. I want to see what it takes to move up in the different ranks, like what criteria is needed. Obviously, wins are the most important. But I just got to see more. But I'm excited that they actually took the opportunity to try to revamp the ranked leaderboards, and I'm hoping that it's some sort of like seasons, like month seasons. But I'm excited for it.
And
I'm gonna be so excited. So I ain't gotta hear I'm a top 15 player and you got a 1,000 win record with 999 losses. I'm so glad I ain't got to go through that this year. I don't want to hear that. You know what I mean? This hopefully this ranking system that they got actually produces some of the top players according by record, wins, point differences, showing like who can actually ball and who can't, and separating the men or the boys from the men. But you know what I mean? If this works the way it's intended to, I could see them like keeping this for a while and actually being something willing to grind and keeping everybody wanting to play the game instead of just like by the time 2 or 3 months kick in, they ready to go to 2K and just be like, okay, forget Madden or something, you know?
yeah, I
Right.
I think every game has to deal with this, whether it's Apex and their ranking system where you could rank up without shooting, ran off a pretty big portion of the Apex fan base. Um, you do it with Call of Duty. You have people cheating or doing weird things, making Smurfs to get in lobbies to run rampant in a lobby.
Yep.
So it applies to Madden, and I think this is one of the biggest L's they've had in the last few years is weekend league didn't matter, regs head to head didn't matter, mutt didn't matter, and then you have a big discourse between people who are playing all pro custom playbooks on a leaderboard, grinding for wins or for whatever they're grinding for, which is respectable because everybody's playing on the same playing field. But if we're gonna do MCS 5 to 6 events and we're gonna throw our tournaments, and every other big name place that does tournaments does a pretty uniform 5 minute all Madden, no custom playbook, injuries, fatigue. If we're gonna do that, that's how everybody should rank and be playing competitively. And if you just want to get together and play a friend or all pro, or you want to play a season or a franchise on all pro, go ahead. But if we're talking about people grinding and putting time in on a game, it's kind of cool if you get to see who's ranked high on a head to head leaderboard and who's ranked high on MCS. Does it correlate? It can't be like the top 1,000 players on the leaderboard and none of them could qualify for an MCS event or win a tournament. And that's no disrespect to nobody, but that's just the cold hard facts of we should all be saying that if Apex has an Apex Predator, that somebody who's never played in a Pred lobby can't be number one. Like it just doesn't make sense. Or a person playing on controller that plays 2 days a week can't be ranked higher than somebody in the PC lobby playing people with 3 kill death ratios and up. You know, it just that dog don't hunt. But I am excited to see exactly just exactly what they do with that. And next is something that this is for the critiquer of the games that says the game is the same every year.
Did you just skip?
They don't change
You skipped
anything,
two, right?
huh?
Did you just skip 2 of them?
I didn't.
Oh, okay.
I didn't skip 2.
Yeah.
I think I skipped 1.
Yeah. Okay.
We'll do this one and go back because it. I think I got a heavy finger.
All right.
But new signature animations they show Pacheco his running style where like he's biting the ground like Pac-Man. Do y'all think this is something that's needed? Do you care about it?
I'm not a fan of animations overall. I mean, I don't really care about these true to life behaviors as far as like Pacheco running, Saquon Barkley juking, and all that other kind of stuff. I'm not a big fan of animations in the game. But I mean, I can see why they did it. Again, this is something that's tailored to the casuals of the game, the people that's probably not going to grind it out as much as we are. But I see why they put it in. But I'm not really a big fan of more animations. I feel that the game got too many already, because sometimes you just get sucked up in those animations on the defense, and it's just terrible. It makes for a terrible gaming experience.
And
I I can see why they did it. It's kind of similar to how 2K has their own animations specific to each player. You know what I mean? Because it's like you got the Pro 2 dribble style, Pro 3, you got the ones that's like Kobe, AI, and it's trying to make it like as real as possible when it comes to these specific players who have their own type of style when they end the game. So I could see where they trying to go with it, but it's like I wouldn't say it's not needed. It's a cool aspect to add into the game, but it's not like a huge one. So it's like I don't see them sticking with it for very long. It'll just be cool, like, okay, yeah, he did that in real life, and then you see it on the game type of thing. But
Right. Or how about they just don't put it into the multiplayer or the online rank type modes. Keep it into like the franchise, keep it into what that mode superstar. Yeah, keep it into like the single player modes. I mean, you want to limit animations as much as you can to make sure that it doesn't hinder the gaming process or the gaming experience, because we all lost games based on like somebody animating and falling forward for a first down when they really shouldn't have that first down, and that's just an animation trigger. Like enough is enough with these animations and losing games because of an animation.
All right, now I'm gonna have to disagree with y'all both. Listen, we all beg to say, let Dion be Dion, not because of certain abilities, not animations. I'm happy to see that Lamar runs like Lamar, Pacheco runs like Pacheco, Mahomes moves like he does in the pocket, because we spend too much time and money, and they make too much money to not implement something simple in. When we do have next gen engines, when we do have PC engines, nobody, please, I hope nobody's still playing old gen. I hope nobody's still playing old gen because it ain't current gen no more. I want to make sure that they're putting things like this into the game because this shows me that they're not being lazy. But I think this more has to do with college football and building a character or building a player. Like Ant said, you do need Kobe's jump shot. You do need Kyrie's dribble style to add in. And I think it's something that's like simple that everybody shouldn't run down the field and we shouldn't spam RB and switch hands and like a 300-pound lineman shouldn't run like Tyreek Hill. Tyreek Hill should run like Tyreek Hill. And I think that's something that may add a more realistic element, hopefully with this boom sense, Rich, that when Pacheco is running like he runs straight up, maybe that hurts him from falling forward and getting that first down. Maybe somebody who has a naturally running style or running lower gets hit and falls differently. But that's the only reason why I disagree with y'all, not in no negative way. It's just to say that like everything that they can put into the game that shows effort that they're trying to give us a different experience.
Right.
Like I can lose a few games because Pacheco runs funny. But to see Pacheco run the same as Taylor Lewan, I'll be a little frustrated. Them both have the same run style because we've seen that same generic run style from everybody running down the field.
Okay. So let's say
because
Pacheco break a run for like 20, 30 yards and they're using that animation, like his running style. So I expect for him to go back to the huddle tired as hell. Okay. Not full strength.
he don't be tired in real life.
Yeah, but no, if he break like a 40-yarder and they down at the 10, like, bro, ain't no way he should go back to the huddle full health, ready to do it all over again. Especially when they say physics matter.
Okay, so we'll make physics matter. All right, so when the Green Bay Packers run back the second pick six on Dak Prescott, Darnell Savage should be tired from his running style of celebrating. You're right. He should be red circle ring around him. He should be tired.
The man you should see, the next picture you should see of him is over there with that breathing thing, trying to get some damn oxygen. Okay, not running out there on special teams.
It would be cool if they showed it.
Yeah,
I'm gonna piggyback off of what something that Buddha said. Now it will be cool to see like specific players' animations, but it's gonna have a good side of it and a very bad side of it, and I'm gonna tell you why. Now, for the ones who play MUT, the ones who play just casual play, like in the Play Now system, really won't have to see it as much because, you know, what I mean, you can't change those abilities; those are stuck to those players, whoever you have. Then you're gonna have the side where it's the franchise players. It's like you can change out those animations and make a fullback run the same as Isaiah Pacheco or your quarterback run the same as somebody specifically. And it's going to be a way that somebody's going to find an exploit to run faster than the speed that they actually have in the game. And that's where all the complaints is going to be. And then they're going to be like, okay, maybe we should switch this around. And then we're going to have more complaints coming because when they try to switch it, it's going to break the game. And then we're going to be pissed all over again.
Good. That's why you need. That's why you need the franchise manager to set a hard set rule. Everybody has to keep. That should be like a thing that like they could turn that off and on, and the person running the franchise. All right, so next slide is control your receivers with these new hot route updates and sliders. What are y'all thoughts on being able to control adjust route when you make hot route?
I mean, I like that feature. I always thought like a lot of the quarterbacks or a lot of receivers should be able to run additional routes than what they currently had as pre-stock. I mean, what they don't tell you, and I can't confirm or deny this, but it definitely depends on where the receiver is lined up at. So depending on where your receiver lined up at, you may or may not have hot route options. But the format, well, I can't really get into that too much, but I've heard that depending on where the receivers lined up, he may or may not have hot routes. But to not having the ability in order to hot route, I think it's pretty cool. So I'm glad they actually brought that feature into the game.
I haven't read too much up on this one, so I can't really say too much about it. But like in previous matches, we've had like that slide ability to control receivers. I don't know how much of a difference it's gonna make with this mechanic that they added, because you know when we was in like when you hike it and stuff like that, and when they on the field and running their routes and they get stuck in one place, you can flick your thumbstick and it'll change the way that they want to go. Now, as far as this one, I have questions towards, because now is this to control the receivers before you snap the ball, or is this after?
This pre-snap. This
Pre-
would be like
Mm.
this would be like you running a corner and you found out that that person is in a certain zone drop, and you want to run that corner at 10 yards instead of 15. Like
Oh,
I
okay.
think that's a huge feature, being able
Right.
to, especially when people kind of get, most people are lazy. They don't change those zone drops. They've seen somebody on the internet say, put it at 20 or put it at 5, and they just stuck there all game. And you figure like, yo, if I can just get that corner to run an extra 5 yards deeper, it's gonna
Right.
be open the whole game. So
Right.
hopefully this is gonna be like an extended hot route master saying, hey, I want that curl route to stick at 10 yards and I want that post to run at 20 instead of 15. Like that safety is gonna have a hard time choosing, especially for people that like to come out in the same defense the whole game. I think they've
Right.
reverse engineered offense and defense with how they're trying to approach the game, which is, if I can't get you out of running the same defense the whole game, let me make it where the offense can beat that same defense easier. If that makes sense.
Right.
It
'Cause,
does.
yeah, if you come out and have yours pretty much at 15, and I can put my wide receiver to run that route at 25, like it's definitely gonna be open the whole time, and your defender's not gonna um, catch the ball or be there to make a play because he's stuck at at 10, and my receiver's going 20 yards deep instead of just 10. So it added to the chess match of playing offense and defense. So I like the feature. I want to see it work, but I like it. It
I,
may or may not work in the other mode that they just released like a week ago, though.
I, I'm always gonna go the sweat version and say like, my worry is the red zone. Like how properly is this gonna work when you get the red zone?
Right.
Like can you really cook up a 3 yard curl route and a 6 yard slant in the red zone to keep your receiver from running completely out of bounds on a certain situation?
Right.
All right, so this is another feature of more of a cosmetic feature. What do y'all think about authentic rookie head scans and player likeness?
Player likeness, I'm not too worried about. I mean, another cool feature for the casuals or whatever. Head scans. I think I tried the head scan when they first introduced it, like what 3-4 years ago in Madden.
Tell me that. Let's see
So
Rich's head scan.
yeah, I think I tried it. But it's not really a mode or anything that I am too excited about. But I see why they introduced it for the casuals. And a lot of people come on me. At the end of the day, they got on helmets. So even if you do your face scan, the only part you're gonna see your face is what in the menus. So it really
Yeah.
doesn't really make a difference.
Got a point.
Yeah, I don't think we're gonna waste much time on the Ricky head scans. That's more of a cosmetic piece.
Right.
Another cosmetic piece is group celebrations, like defensive interceptions, things like that. Do y'all care about this?
Not really. Not a casual feature. Whatever.
I mean, streaming and you get hype with your team on the field. I mean, I'm gonna be hype about it.
Look, Ant want the band to come out and play
Yeah.
every
Hey,
time
we
he
gonna
get
be
an interception.
marching and everything.
Hey, listen, I know when they didn't do a group celebration, it's gonna be, what defense do you call with 10 seconds left?
All right, yeah, that's my time, fellas. Hey, I appreciate y'all for.
Nah. Another cosmetic feature is rebuilt atmospheres. I don't think anybody cares about Cowboy Stadium or Pittsburgh Heinz Field. I don't think we care anything about that. We were more focused on the Tennessee Titans new stadium.
Especially the Titans, we
And
don't
it,
care
Right.
about
I
that.
would like for them to fix the Raiders stadium though, because it was bright as hell
oh
in
my,
that stadium, bro. Like, oh my
I,
god.
look, great point. Rich is now undefeated. He came up with it. That Raider stadium that used to turn yellow used to like be a nightmare for my face. I would just back out of a game if somebody has that yellow stadium.
Right.
This is further on the hot routes. That's the custom route depths. We already got into that, and the deeper emergent franchise mode recharge. All right, so and you was a big franchise guy with
Right.
college football. What do you think playing both NFL franchise with Madden and college? What do you think is the biggest features that should be there and should be missing?
Um, Now we talking for both college and NFL right now.
Either one.
Yeah, for both.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll start off with college. Now, as far as college, I don't like the fact that they not implementing the high school aspect of it in the game, because that was a big deal for a lot of players, especially like when you gotta play your best to get them scholarships.
Right.
So I'm pissed that that's missing. But I guess being able to choose what college you want to go to off the rip is kind of cool still at the same time, because you still got to earn your starting spot, especially depending on what school you go to. Being able to control your player as much as possible. Like they add in mechanics as far as like certain jam features to get, like, say if you're playing corner, certain jam features.
Mm.
Being able to hold on to your opponent for like that first 5 yards, and if you don't let go in time, then you get in that penalty flag every time. So something like that, just like a more realistic aspect. And then it's just like certain positions, add in those real life situations where you can get them flag calls, or if you make the wrong read or the wrong move, it can go bad and really quick. And that's for both college and NFL. I also wish that they would add in the ability to have your player go from college and transfer him into Madden 2 and then continue that NFL franchise. But
Mm.
I get it because of the NILs and the licensing with all that. So
No, I
it
think they
is what
did
it
announce that feature though a few days ago to
is. It?
where, yeah, I think something like that, that it's gonna be connected somehow, yeah, with the franchise mode.
Okay. Okay. So I'm gonna keep an eye out for that though. But I think that's my main takeaways from it though.
For sure. I see. I got more questions than just input. So, and people played college football 14 for a gazillion years up until a few months ago.
Mhm.
Do you think people that play 14 have a realistic chance to come into Madden 25 and into college football 25 and compete, or do you think it's going to be a curve?
I think for the ones who actually understand the game and the mechanics, can come in and make that adjustment and still kind of kill it. Now, the ones who were so used to how the game was and how it moved, it's going to be a lot harder of an adjustment for them, because they played a certain way that went their way because of how the game was 10 years ago. So,
Mm,
compared to a person who may be playing both and notices the differences between the two and know how to adjust when that new game comes out, I can see a lot of them that have been playing this whole time kind of come in and probably take some spots over.
mm,
Mm.
that's interesting.
Hmm.
Rich, you got anything to add to the franchise mode you like to see?
I mean, for me, like for the NFL for Madden, like I was a big franchise person. Like 2 Maddens ago, I actually held leagues, CFM leagues, for about 5, 6 seasons. I gave away prizes to the Super Bowl winner, or S-Bots, cash prizes. But that was the last time that we actually played franchise mode, because EA kind of just messed up the franchise mode when they took away certain functionalities, certain things wasn't working, the draft wasn't working, and it just pretty much made the franchise it very unplayable. Now, if in Madden 25 it fits, it's actually a more playable mode, then yeah, I go back to playing franchise again, because deep down, even as OG Madden players, like franchise was pretty cool to play back then. Like you always wanted to take your favorite team and win multiple Super Bowls, always try to rebuild them back into Super Bowl contention and all the other kind of crazy stuff. But like 2 Maddens ago, they kind of just messed up and went a totally different direction, and they have yet to really fix it. So hopefully they fix it this time around. But I really don't know. I'm excited about the college football dynasty mode as well, because the same thing. You used to take your school, build it up, sign recruits, go out there and win championships. Like college football dynasty was deep as hell. And that's what really made college football. So if I don't play anything else in college football, no MUT, no regs in college football, I am going to play Dynasty. And I am hoping that it's one of the best modes in the game, because that's what really truly made college football. And even for the people that's playing 2014, what are they playing? They're playing Dynasty mode. They're not playing regs. They're not playing just one-on-one games. They're playing Dynasty mode. Dynasty mode in college football was so deep. That's what really made that game very successful. So For me, college football, and for the people who paid in 2014, you're going to get a graphics update and you're going to get a roster update. Other than that, college football is really just like Madden. But you guys should be excited because you get a brand new game, brand new engine, all the new abilities, and you get to catch up to where Madden is. So I see why y'all excited. But I'm excited for the franchise in the Dynasty mode if they are what they should be.
So you can finally see the University of Miami Hurricanes win like the Alabama Crimson Tide. I know the fantasy aspect has got to get people excited about being able to finally take control of their franchise, especially if you watch your franchise make a lot of mistakes over the years. Playing franchise was a fun way to say, like, let me see if I can do it better than the real people. Because I don't know about y'all, drafting was fun and recruiting is those are my two favorite parts. So I hope they're really detailed on drafting and recruiting, being able to have a lot of different aspects to that makes it exciting. Because I like to steal one of your recruits just as much as I like to beat you, and to say that I got that 6'5" safety you wanted. Like
Right.
that was a big part of playing college football and playing Madden
Yeah.
franchise. Because truth be told, I know a lot of people like say I'm like a mutt dude, but I used to play franchise with my friends with like 20, 30 people in the league before I ever started content creation. And I like that mode better than Mutt and Regs because it this was like pre-ability. This was
Right.
I can build a team the way I want to build it.
You
This
create your own
is
player. Like I used to do that too. I used to in the NFL franchise. I would create myself. Obviously, take over the Cowboys and just do work until I retired, man. So the franchise mode was deep. I just hope it gets back to where it was. Make it enjoyable again.
he said make man great again. I honestly think that like this deep dive was cool. It was a little bit different than what people originally thought. Like, oh, it's a quick trailer, it's 90 seconds, it's the same Madden. Listen, for all the naysayers out there, we cry every year for a new meta. We cry for different animations. We cry for different abilities. We cry for different ways to play the game, for the game to look different, feel different. I know from what I've seen in the patch notes and what I can't confirm or deny about the beta that tackling and running is different on Madden, and we're gonna get a different game. This is gonna be the most football content we've ever gotten in the history of gaming, and just to the fact that we're gonna get college football that we haven't gotten in a decade, and we're gonna get a Madden where there's another football title that can take play hours away from Madden. I think I'm excited. I don't know about anybody else, but you can't ask for more content to be pumped out than this summer being able to play college football and Madden and make sports contents with football that every casual person that stopped playing Madden, that used to like college better than Madden, or just Madden people who are frustrated with the way it is, this is a fresh new look. Appreciate y'all our input on this deep dive on Madden. We're gonna have more deep dives, more discussions on these podcasts. If it's something that y'all want us to talk about, drop it in the comments. Follow us on all our social media platforms.